How's it going, guys? Just hanging out at lunchtime. Figured I'd show you guys something. Check these out. Try and hold this camera, not block the microphone. I'll start with one of the better ones. I know it's not focusing in too well. Not the brown mark around it, but you see the little like pencil lines going up and down? It's carbon tracking. See it up there too. Then you get into one like this, where forget about the brown line, that whole black area is where the current's been coming. And you can see it, whoops, across here and across there. This one has it right there. See a couple of lines on the top. Right across there. I actually have a set of plugs that are worse than this, but I don't have them with me to show you guys. This one you can see the brown line, which isn't an issue, but you can see the black stripes and across the top. So basically what happens is when you leave a set of plugs in a car for 200,000 plus miles, and it becomes too hard for the spark plug or the spark to jump the gap, it finds other ways. And it'll actually go from here and put the current right to here, so the spark plug doesn't work anymore. So the other ones I have, you can actually see the burn marks right across the bottom, and the pads, instead of these thin little black ones, the pads are thick. Now this doesn't happen on Tuesday and then you say, oh, my car doesn't run right. This happens over time. You might miss it when it first starts on one cylinder. Usually by the time every single cylinder is doing it, especially like this, you know, the car will stumble, the car will misfire, then it might run smooth, then you start getting all sorts of check engine lights and all sorts of good things. You might get a random misfire, you might get a cylinder 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. But that isn't like a week's worth of driving right there. That's probably over a year's worth of driving with this one misfiring. So I bring this up because Ziggy had those plugs on that Mitsubishi that day when he was checking for that dead misfire in the exhaust, and you saw the carbon tracking running right down one of them. So that one was to the point where that cylinder was 100% dead. Okay, now depending on what your boots are made out of is how much current it's going to allow through. Okay, if the boot, let me reword this. I know when I was at Mitsu we had a problem with the boots, but Mitsu wasn't the only manufacturer with the problem, and it didn't take much to get the spark to actually travel down the boot. The boot became a conductor and then go to here and you get a misfire and you didn't even see the carbon tracking for a while. Now these, when you looked inside the boot, this burning and the carbon tracking is actually in the boot. So really the right way to do it is a set of plugs, and if the coils are still good at that point, a set of boots on the coils, which they do sell separate for most coils. I know at Mitsu we were finally able to get them so we didn't have to charge customers for a coil. The actual coil's working fine. So, but yeah, 2 sets of plugs in 2 days. The other set was a regular set of plugs that were in there for the person doesn't know how long because they put the car used. It's actually someone that works there, and the car started kicking a 300 code, which is P0300, which is random misfire. Kicked it, he erased it, kicked it, he erased it. That was like 10 months ago. And finally he said, can you give me a hand? I said, sure, what's the code? He showed me the code. I said, okay, pull off the wires. I pulled off the wires, and it makes these plugs look brand new. So I hooked him up and helped him out, and he's on his way. So I just figured I'd show you guys that. That is the purpose of these ribs, just so you guys know. The boot is supposed to go into the rib, go into the rib, go into the rib. It's supposed to act like an insulator, make the path longer to here. because it would technically have to go follow the ceramic in, out, in, out, in, out. So it'd probably take this section here and double it in length. So that's one of the purposes of it. So it's your choice. Do them when you're supposed to. Well, in some cases you're gonna need coil packs. Some of the cars I work on, as soon as it's about to get ready to this point, it fries the coil pack. So, and if this car needed coil packs, it would have been about $40 for the plugs and about $600 for coil packs for 4-cylinder, and then labor, rather than putting the plugs in. Now the iridium plugs, which these aren't factory plugs, the factory ones on these cars are Denso, but I know the history of the car, and they did these plugs early on, and the car had 2 1/4 on it. So, but the factory recommendation's 100,000. So that's a long time to drive a car for a set of spark plugs. So it's cheaper to put 4 of these in at 100,000 and 4 more in at 200,000 than it is to buy a set of coil packs. Well, that's it, guys. Just figured I'd show you that. So.